Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. It's a system that teaches literacy and social skills at the same time. And I said, if you can read a picture book, you can teach this program. I really think it would be great for teachers who are starting off this semester trying to accomplishing two things at once. We usually have groups that we set up, whole groups, then small groups. This is an excellent book for small group instruction after having the full whole group instruction because I have different centers designated in the teacher's guide that will help the teacher in giving that intensive instruction to children of different ability levels. And I also have it arranged as a tiered system for students who are reading at different levels. So check it out. I put it in my description box. I put a lot of thought into this, so I really want to share it with others. Now, we've been talking about thinking for oneself. And this is another topic that's near and dear to my heart because as a former classroom teacher, now I'm working as a teacher, an inclusion teacher for a school. I found that this is one of the greatest challenges for children with special needs. And, so often they want to fit in and be like their peers. And in that process, may do things that are not really things that they would do ordinarily. So I would always say, did you do that because you saw so and so, whatever doing? So, it's really good to do make your own choices. I didn't necessarily say think for yourself because that's a little bit more ephemeral for a child to understand. And these were children mostly in primary grades. So thinking for oneself as an adult and modeling that is huge. Um, and so that's what led me to speak about Z. Hereford's article, How to Think for Yourself. And I just thought it was a wealth of information that she thought through, obviously, very deeply and put it together. And I just happened upon it because I was thinking, okay, what materials can I use to base my YouTube talk on thinking for yourself? And there it was. The internet's just an amazing thing. But there are two things that Miss Hereford mentioned that I thought we should also take a look at too. In attempting to think for oneself and to have original thought, one might think that you have to be original about everything, and you don't. And this is also, we know, very close to being impossible to try to direct our thoughts to be unique in everything we do. We actually are drawing upon a lot of our past experiences, and our thoughts do revert back to that original upbringing and raising that we had when we make certain choices. Our culture, our social groups, they all provide the norms and customs that we exhibit during our day-to-day life. And it makes what they call it the social lubricant. We are able to interact with others in a social way. So there are some things that we don't want to throw out the window and using our independent thought. The second part their second thought was thinking for ourselves doesn't mean that one has to be argumentative or caustic or defensive. And these are things that can come up when you feel like, oh, somebody is not liking my original thought and they're coming at me for thinking for myself. And I'm sure that happens quite a bit. But usually, if you could see it as a person, your original thought might be in contrast to that person's life view or a thought. And so that's where the conflict comes up. But I had a teacher who said, you can disagree without being disagreeable. Man, I know that seems to be something that we've forgotten these days in our discourses. But as an original thinker or thinking for yourself, it's really important because people can hear what you're saying a little bit louder when you are not defensive or argumentative about your original thought. And also in this article, it just places that responsibility upon us to, well, whatever position we hold or opinion that we hold, to have it thoroughly investigated, examine it, and see if our thought or position holds up to that thoughtful analysis. And basically, it's critical thinking brought into our everyday life. And it does take work, but the reward is that there's so much more, I think, peace, and um, you have your own sense of self that you're supporting and feeding. And so it really does help build self esteem and self um, recognition that this is something that is part of me. And then my self concept grows because I'm actually being true and authentic to myself. So, anyway, we'll talk about this a bit more tomorrow. Thought I'd give you a few of Mrs. Hereford's ground rules, which I thought definitely needed to be mentioned. So please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.